Hello guys, welcome to the session. In this session, we are going to learn about what is HTML. Prior to going to the discuss about what is HTML, I wanted to let you know that this session is going to be a conceptual session where we will discuss about some of the important aspect of HTML. This knowledge will help us to build the good foundation for the further session. So now let's start our discussion. So guys, what is HTML? So basically, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. HTML is not a programming language. It's a markup language that will be used to create the web pages and the HTML documents. So why it is not a programming language? So it is because one of the key element of programming language is logic creation, where we need to design the logic on the basis of condition. If this is true, then do this thing, and if this is false, then do that thing. That we can't do with HTML. So it is not a programming language, as HTML doesn't have any of the thing to create logic like this. So here the question is, what is HTML used for? HTML just display and format elements of the web page, that may be text, paragraph, heading, a bullet point, image, and many other components which we will look into in this course. HTML mainly for presentational purpose. So that means no logic and no programming. So you must be asking that if you can't create logic in HTML, does it really require? Then to answer your question, I would say that HTML is one facet of web development, because it is a building block of web. Every single site that display contents in HTML, irrespective of which programming language we are using, whether we are using PHP, JavaScript, or C#, whichever programming language we use, the representation of the content is always happen through HTML. One important point which I wanted to point over here, HTML can't work alone to represent the content on the web page. Along with HTML, there is something called CSS, cascading style sheet, which we are learning in our next course of this step-by-step web development series. Basically, CSS used to beautify the content of the web page. In summary, I can say that use HTML to specify the content of web page and use CSS for appearance of the web pages. So let's look into the web page to understand what things belongs to HTML and what thing belong to CSS and what thing belongs to JavaScript, because these three technologies are the core technologies for the web development. So we are into Wikipedia page. Over here it is very simple page, but this simple page help us to understand that what things belongs to HTML, what things belongs to CSS, and what thing belongs to JavaScript. So here you will see that we have a text box. So this text box is an HTML element, and the CSS, what is CSS over here? So CSS, you will find that the color of this text is English and the below subtext is gray. So that behavior is provided by CSS, and the moment if you write something like Google and the functionality like the drop down, the value which is populating over here, and if you are clicking on this button, it is taking to some other page. So that behavior is coming from JavaScript. So for this course, we are going to cover all the elements. What are the elements which is being available within HTML and HTML5? We are going to look into that. And in the next course, we are going to discuss about or learn about the CSS. And in the third course, we are going to look into the JavaScript. So this course is really very important, or say it is the first stepping stone to proceed further in web development step-by-step series. So on this note, I am going to stop over here, and in the next session we will look into tools required to write HTML code. So in that aspect we will do some installation of a script editor where we can write the code for HTML. Along with that, we will also discuss about browser where we can view the written HTML. So see you in the next session. Till then, bye bye, take care.